Hello everyone, welcome to episode 24 of Reconstructing Cave Story. In this episode we're going to be creating a number sprite class, and basically we need to be able to easily create arbitrary numbers like 23 or 32 or 3 or just any arbitrary number, and we're going to use these digits that we were using in the last episode here in textbox.bitmap. These digits, we're just going to look at using the white digits. Later on we'll add some flexibility so that we can use the red digits and the plus and minus, but just this episode we're going to do arbitrary digits like more than one number, numbers with more than one digit in it. So like 32 would have two digits in it. So let's work on that in this episode. So our solution is to create a number class or a number sprite class that takes first of all, a number to represent, and then also a number of digits, so that when we have numbers like 52 and 3 that need to go near our health box, we can add in the proper amount of padding. And then we have the subproblem we'll get into later in the episode. So let's start by creating a number sprite header file, and I'll do this by showing all files, right-clicking source, adding new item, header file. And this is going to be called number sprite.h. And we'll just do our usual header guards. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. I can't remember. So we'll do struct number sprite. Okay. So like I said, it's going to be based on, first of all, we'll just have one that takes in a single constructor that takes in a number. And that's going to be all it takes in. And we're just going to have it hold, for this first iteration, a single sprite. So I'm going to have it be in a boost shared pointer to a sprite. Not a sharps pointer, but a shared pointer. And we'll just call it sprite. And then later we'll have more than one sprite for numbers with more than one digit. So right now we're just handling the single digit case. So let's forward declare our sprite class. And let's include boost shared pointer. Okay, so now let's switch over to, let's actually continue putting more stuff in here. So let's add in a draw method. So it's void draw graphics, and it's good enough. So we'll forward declare graphics. And it doesn't need to be updated because these number sprites are just going to be the solid kind of sprites that don't get updated. So we don't really need to add in an update method. And we're not inheriting from sprite because we're going to have more than one sprite in here. So anyway, let's go into our player class and actually use this and kind of move the logic we already have for our 3 into this file. So let's open player.h and player.cc. In addition to all this stuff in player.h, I'm going to include a number sprite. No, I won't. I'll forward declare a number sprite, I think. We'll see if this works. And instead of making 3 a sprite, I'm going to make it a number sprite. And I'll wait to change its name, but we're going to change it here, its name to here in a minute. So 3, we need to include up at the top of our player.cc number sprite.h. So 3, we'll find that. And okay, yeah, so our draw method is actually going to want to take in a x and a y. So we'll pass those in, x units of gain y. So we need to include units too. And go back to our player CC class. And 3 looks good, but down here where we're actually initializing it, we need to initialize it to be a new number sprite. And this is going to need to take in our graphics. So that's another thing we'll need to add to our number sprite. Graphics. I'll just add it to the beginning. And we'll say new number sprite, passing it graphics and the number 3, which is what we want it to display. And we can move this over to, we're going to need this later, so I'm going to just comment it out for now. Because all of this information is still good information, it's just we need to move it. So I'm commenting it while I build and run. So build failed, let's see what failed. Don't think I can. I don't think I can just forward declared number sprite. I don't think that's the way scoped pointer works. So I'm just going to actually include number sprite. So I'll build and run this. Okay, so yeah, now I'm getting unresolved symbols. So let's create a number.cc or numbersprite.cc class file. Add new item numbersprite.cc, and we need to first of all include numbersprite.h, and then we need to also define this void draw and the constructor. So we'll do that here. So our draw method is just going to call our sprite draw method. Which we need to include. And we'll pass it our graphics and our X and a Y. So now we need to fill out our number sprite, and this is where we're going to use this comments I made where I was creating the other one. So let's just say sprite is equal to a boost shared pointer type sprite, passing it in a new sprite, and we'll pass it most of this information. We need to pass it graphics and our image file. So that's going to be content/textbox.bitmap. So yeah, this should be all we need. I'm going to build and run. Okay, so build succeeded. So now it's building. What am I pushing? F5. There we go. So here we go. Yeah, so the 3 is still there, and that's what we want. This has just been pretty much moving the code into a new number sprite, so now we can work with it here. So instead of using this constant 3, what I really want to use is a number, so that we can use any old arbitrary number between 0 and 10, so we can build and run and see that it still shows up as 3 because that's what we passed into our number sprite. So let's look at our player class and test it with a different number. So like, let's test it with 0. That's an interesting number. So I'll build and run. And yeah, now it shows up as 0, which is great, perfect, what we want. But if we did something like 12, we're gonna have a problem. So I'll build and run this just so you can see. Yeah, that doesn't look anything like 12. So what we actually need to do is split up our numbers into the individual digits, and then record, and then keep track of those individual digits instead of an entire number. Before I do that, though, I'm going to rename this 3 to be something a little bit more descriptive, because it's no longer just 3. It is going to be, let's call it our health number sprite. That makes sense, right? So save that, and anytime I say 3, I'll just change this to health number sprite. So where's the next 3? Do the same thing. Okay. Just gonna build. I won't run it. Perfect.